This is Nick Douglas for Adventures of a Sailor Girl. It is a little bit quiet this morning, so we thought we would drop into the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania, the heart and soul of the finish of the Rolex Sydney Hobart. Let's see if we can find somebody to tell us just what goes on here in Hobart for the finishing. Come on in. So for many of you, you will know that last year I actually spent more time on these steps than on the Derwent. This is where we wait as media when there is a protest on. The protest room is upstairs. None of that this year. Yes! Apparently, this is where the Tattersall Cup lives for most of the year when it's not being presented to the winner of the Rolex Sydney Hobart overall. You can see it's an absolutely beautiful location. I wish I could spend a little bit more time here. And look who I have run into. It's Tracy Matthews, who is the finish coordinator for the Rolex Sydney Hobart and also the immediate past Commodore of the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania. Tracy, this is an incredible race, but can you tell me a little bit about how the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania is involved with the finishes?
Yeah, sure, Nick. Great to see you here again. The Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania is the finishing partner with the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia for the event, and we've been the partners with the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia since the inception of the race back in 1945, so that's now 77 years. And the Royal Yacht Club is involved with everything to do with on water and finishing the race here in Hobart once the yachts arrive. We have almost 250 volunteers involved from the start of the race through to the last boat finishes.
Oh my gosh, 250 volunteers. This is amazing. And I often give thank yous whilst we are doing our coverage to the volunteers, but that is just immense and immeasurable support.
It's such an exciting time for the club and everyone loves being involved with it.
Well, we love that you are involved with it. And speaking of behind the scenes and what just goes on here, should we go and have a little bit of a look inside the heart of the club?
Yep, come on, we'll go and have a look. So now we're going to go upstairs and have a look in the committee room and the radio room. So we need to be quiet when we go up there because they may be a little bit busy. Let's go. So here we are outside the committee room. There's something going on in there at the moment, so we'll just wait a sec before we go in.
Come on in.
This is the committee room where the committee monitor and track all the yachts in the race. Over here we've got all the nerve centre of the race with our committee members and scribes. And over here on the wall we have all the worksheets they use to track where all the boats are at all the different check-in points during the race. Those at Green Cape, Tasman Island, Iron Pot, and those that have finished. We also record the retirements and any incidents, which there have been a few in the past few hours.
Thankfully, everybody is safe, but I think a lot of people don't realise that, yes, it's about finishing and yes, it's about getting to Hobart, but you are making sure that every single entrant in this race is safe at all times.
Absolutely, it's safety first, and that's a motto of the committee and of the race organisers. So this centre here is very much at the heart of making sure that we can deliver on that for the competitors and for the clubs. So let's go through to the radio room and we'll see where all the radio action takes place. Let's go in to the radio room. And in here we have Kate, who's one of our volunteers on the radio schedule, and they're in here monitoring all the radio broadcasts and messaging that's coming through from the fleet and from our radio relay vessel, JBW. And they've got the cricket on.
So when we're talking about safety first, basically monitoring radio channels, making sure that the sailors are checking in at their sked points. This is all of the ways that you are able to monitor how safe the fleet is.
Yeah, absolutely. And between the radio room and the committee room next door, they have, virtual eyes on every single yacht at every single point in the race. And it's just so important that the yachts are communicating with the committee through the regular skeds, through the radio, or we also have sat phone and of course mobile phone when they're in range as a backup to that. And that's super important so that we know where they all are and that we can be also in communication with the emergency services like AMSA in case there's an activation of a PLB or something like that.
This is the protest room. Thank you so much, Tracy, for taking us through the yacht club. Here we're in the protest room, and I'm so happy, as I mentioned, well, you weren't there, but I was so happy that I didn't have to sit on the stairs this year. And with protests, it means we can be fierce competitors on the water and then friends when we're back on shore.
Absolutely, and as well as being safety first, this race is all about being a fair race for all competitors, and the protest system is part of that.
And so I just have to say a big thanks to Tracy Matthews and her team, 250 volunteers who are involved with making the finish of this great race happen. And I mean, the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania are a beautiful location, and we really couldn't do our finishes without them either. We're a part of their finish team to try and bring as many live finishes into Hobart as we can. So thank you for your support, Tracy.
Thanks, Nick, and good luck with the rest of the race.
Thank you so much.